Is this the next best pit bike sized e-bike for under $1,300? It claims 40 miles per hour top speed and crazy torque that'll let this thing wheelie. But is it actually legit, or is it just another cheap electric pit bike? Today we are unboxing the HiKnight GTX1 electric pit bike, and I'm going to tell you whether or not this is worth the money. We're going to test it, we're going to review it, we're going to ride it, we're going to do everything. Alright, so first impressions, this thing definitely takes a little bit of a more unique approach to pit bikes in this market. Looks a little bit different, and that's because the battery is stored up pretty high and the motor is super low, kind of leaving an empty space right here. Kind of reminds me of like an older moped almost. But sitting on it, it does feel pretty stout and decently well built. Alright, so here's what we're actually working with. A 3,000 watt motor that alleges a ton of torque, a 48 volt, 21 amp hour battery, giving it a top speed of right around 40 miles an hour and a claimed range of 45 miles. And a mid-drive motor setup, which is actually huge. It's mid-drive. The only other option would essentially be a hub drive. Mid-drive is way better in my opinion because it gives you better responsiveness, better for climbing hills, so on and so forth. And most importantly, it's also way better for wheelies. I mean, it looks pretty decent, but let's actually hop on this thing and talk a little bit more about it.
All right, the HiKnight GTX1. I'm gonna run you guys quickly through just how to turn this thing on because I couldn't figure it out myself at first. So, comes with two keys. Keys will open the back to a battery. You turn this, it comes up. So this is actually a fully removable battery, 48 volt, 21 amp hour. You can take this out, charge it with the plug here, or you could, you know, do whatever you want. But flip this on, make sure it's on, and then when you click this button, you'll see it's on. So we'll put that back in. Then to turn the bike on, stick it in the ignition here. So the first spot on the ignition is without a headlight. The second spot is with the headlight. We'll run it without the headlight. And to get into the mode to go, I'll show you quick here. So bike's on. If you just click the mode button, it won't move. You have to hold the brake, meaning the brake sensor has to be attached when you do this. Now, I'm going to preemptively remove the brake sensor for wheelies, of course, but it needs to be plugged in to actually start the bike. Now the brake sensor is removed. So, thing feels decent off the bat. We'll rip it mode 1, see how fast or maybe how slow it is. Mode 1 is going to be pretty limited, 18 miles per hour. Mode 2, noticeably more torque, but it definitely governs, and I think it's going to be 27. Yep, just under 27. See what we got here, 32. I think we'll get 40 here. 37, 38, 39, 40, 40, 40. All right, it almost feels governed out at that. So I feel like if you did some mods, maybe modded the controller, the battery, you could make it go faster if you want, but 40 miles an hour out of a stock bike is not bad at all. Now, this bike does have full suspension, front forks, rear shock. It's definitely bouncy. I mean, this is generally made for teens, young adults, so super bouncy suspension. I can bottom it out if I jump on it enough. But seat is fine. It's pretty thin, not that comfortable. The bars, I like how tall they are, but they are a bit narrow for my liking. But I do feel pretty comfortable on this thing, cruising around. This isn't gonna be something that's like, you're gonna do insane tricks with and jumps, or at least not me, but I don't do insane tricks or jumps on anything. But I think this will be like a perfect neighborhood cruiser. Again, just another example of a bike for you to get into the e-bike market for cheap. This is really gonna be similar, same specs essentially as like a 2TO, a VipQ, a Mile Pop. All of them are pretty much the same exact specs. This bike just looks a little bit different, so if you want a little bit more of a unique looking bike, you'll definitely get that out of this one. Now, I wanna see more of how this does off-road. Hit this little jump. Woo! Bottomed out the suspension there. But I mean, the whole point of these pit bikes is just something fun to hoot around on. And if you're like a younger guy, you know, like 13, 14, 15, trying to get into e-bikes, this is a good option because it's not expensive. So if you're trying to convince your parents to buy you one, or what you should do is go get a job, work a little bit, work a summer job on the weekends or something, save up some money to go buy something like this. That's what it's made for. It's not the top of the line, you know, type of bike, but it knows its market. It's meant to be cheap, easy to produce. Now, as we slow down here, we can talk about the brakes. The brakes are your standard brakes. The one thing to note is the calipers on the right side. So same deal with a lot of these cheaper Chinese pit bikes. You can't really just swap on like a Magura brake or something like that. But see how she feels off-road. It's still fun. You can still have fun on a $1,300 bike. And we're wheeling it. Honestly, this is the max power that I deserve off-road because I can't ride off-road for crap. I don't deserve more than this. But this, honestly, suspension feels good. I actually didn't bottom out on any of that, which is a nice surprise. Woo! It has a 12-inch rear wheel, 14-inch front wheel. Again, standard with all the pit bikes in the class. Front brake. Oh my god, it'll stop me. What? Oh, the one thing I noticed is I keep getting my foot caught up in here and I'm pushing on the chain and it's catching the chain guard is basically hitting the chain when I squeeze my feet there, but whatever. So yeah, if you want to wheelie this bike, you definitely have to remove the brake sensors like I did. It's just a plug, thankfully. There's some other bikes where it's not, and that's annoying. Cleared the little gap. But the bike does feel pretty decently well put together, all things considered. A lot of these bikes I ride, they kind of feel like they're gonna break when I ride them. So this one actually feels pretty confidence inspired. And it's a way to get outside, it's a way to go have fun. That's what it's made for. It's not meant to be a performance beast, but we're gonna make her perform. And you know how we're gonna make her perform? We're gonna hit this other off-road section. Now, I think realistic battery range on something like this, especially with someone my weight, which is 170 pounds, I think they claim like anywhere between 25 to 45 miles. I would probably guess closer between like 10 to 12, especially if you're riding it hard the whole time, which most people are. But I think that the way that this bike is designed is it should be able to accept a lot of upgrades. So if you want to upgrade the battery, the motor, the controller, I think you've just because you've got a lot of room to work with, you know? Like so much room for a big motor, a decent amount of room for a bigger battery. Oh my God, I didn't tighten the bars enough. Yikes, buddy. All right, screw it. Well, we're still gonna do the wheelie test here now. We're gonna need to go tighten these bars, huh? Yeah, that ain't good. Quick little maintenance in the garage. Just make sure these are tight enough. Yes, the wheelie test with tightened bars. Now, these are classic Pro Taper, like knockoff bars. I think you can get these on Amazon, but they are taller, which should help. But more importantly for wheelies are wide bars, and these aren't that wide, but we will see what we can do. I think you're gonna have to start in mode 3 from like a stop. Oh. Okay. Yo, this thing wheelies way better than I expected. You definitely have to bounce it and go from a slow start, but if you're getting this bike to learn how to wheelie, woo, I would say it's pretty valid. I would say it's absolutely valid. There's some bikes that I review that just are not good for wheelies at all, like they don't lend itself because of the power or the geometry. But the way this tune is it's smooth enough. The wheelies aren't crazy. Again, you're just not going to be doing them super fast and you got to throw it up, but you actually sit pretty comfortably on the seat. There's almost like a little divot right here. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it like swoops down here. It's a little divot, so you almost like sit in it super nicely as far as balance point goes. Okay. Front wheel's already stopped. Kind of need 2 fingers to lock up the rear. But the brakes aren't horrible. But I like that you can actually wheelie this. Now, admittedly, I'm someone that usually takes me a little bit to get used to a bike to be able to wheelie it well. Some people can just hop on a bike and like wheelie it phenomenally. That's not me. So take that into account, that as far as my wheelies go, I need a little more time on the bike, but just showing you simple, standard sit down, feet up wheelies, it can totally do that. So like, I think it competes with a lot of the bikes in this class, and I just like that it has a brake sensor, so you don't have to cut anything. You just unplug this, and again, you need the brake sensors plugged in when you go to turn this bike on, because you turn it on, you have to hold the brake in, otherwise it won't work. But let's get some wheelies on this little strip here. Woohoo! I think with a little seat time, you get cozy with it. You can combo it too. Should we try to get up to a knee knock? All right. You gotta pop it at exactly the right time though. Hell yeah. That ain't bad at all, dude. It's funny, to win me over in a review, the bike can suck at literally everything else. All it has to do is have a good enough tune, no brake sensors or removable brake sensors, a good balance point, and brakes that'll make you not loop. And then I'm happy. Now, if you guys are interested in this bike, you can use code ConnorG to save. But I think it's pretty sweet, honestly. Like I said, I test a lot of these cheaper e-bikes. And like for only 1,300 bucks, this seems like a pretty decent deal. Now, I think if you have an extra 700 bucks to spend, there's definitely other options out there that are a big jump in quality and upgradability. But as far as out of the box option, Circles. Out of the box option for only 1,300 bucks shipped to your door. And cheaper with code ConnorG. That ain't bad at all, man. Frippin'! It's way more fun riding a slow bike fast than a fast bike slow. And I can't even ride fast. And we're governed at 41. Alright people, the HiKnight GTX1. Overall thoughts? It actually feels pretty dang good. I like that you can wheelie it just by removing that brake sensor. Wheelies well, has a decent balance point. Love how it cups you in here when you're doing wheelies. Brakes are okay. I kind of had to two-finger the rear brake, but to be expected. Price point is great. I mean, it's really in line with all the other bikes in this class, so that's great. Comes with a headlight, which I think is nice. Suspension is fine. It is a little soft, if I'm being honest with you, but other than that, still gets the job done. You can still off-road it, jump it. You might just bottom it out is all, but yeah, I think it's a pretty sweet deal for what it is. The looks are unique, so if you're into this style, this type of look, I do think it looks better in person and bigger in person than it does in photos, so just something worth noting. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll leave my discount code in the description, but otherwise, I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.